Hey everyone, Kevin Lewis here with Home Life Benchmark Realty. It's April and it's time for your monthly market update. March 2019 has seen a continuing trend that we've seen over the last several months as far as the market getting back to what we would consider to be a normal market. What I mean by this is a perfect example is looking at the active inventory. Active inventory, of course, means how many homes are currently available for sale that buyers can be looking at and that sellers are looking at as competition. For March 2019, we finished the month off only 10% below the 10-year average. Now, keep in mind that that is still a little bit low considering the last several years we have been so far below the inventory mark. But the fact that it's starting to climb up is once again showing us that things are starting to get a little bit more normal. March 2019 also saw a 45% increase in active listings compared to just a year ago, which 45% is a substantial amount of growth. And whether you're a buyer or a seller, this is a good thing as the market is, like I said, once again, I can't stress enough, becoming much more normal. A normal market creates more predictability. You're more likely to know what your home is going to sell for, and you know what you're going to be able to purchase for, because we can look at recent previous stats, and take a look and get very good close estimates for your home and for your next home. Prices have also been stabilizing over the last several months. They've been coming down overall. This is once again a reaction to the fact that prices just went up so fast over the last several years. Prices coming down is once again creating more normal prices to where they should be based on the average amount of growth over a year. Got to keep in mind, we're still up substantially compared to 3 years ago, and if you look back 10 years, we're well over 100% increase across the board. These stabilized prices are allowing buyers much more time to think about what they want to go ahead with on a purchase. And yes, it's not creating the multiples offer situation, so some sellers are saying, oh, well, that's no good. But at the same time, we have predictability in the market. We know what your home is going to sell for. I can look at the previous sales and get a very good idea of what your home is worth, regardless of the fact that the market may be picking up a little bit in the spring, maybe it doesn't. It doesn't look as if prices are going to change substantially, and that predictability is there that we're going to get from a normal market. A normal market allows us to know and create a plan that doesn't come up with too many surprises. The surprises are never good when a buyer has to go well above the purchase price that they thought they were going to go for a home, only to have them not be able to complete because the financing doesn't go through. Despite the fact that prices are down a little bit, sellers, you have to keep in mind that overall, we're still 14% below the 10-year average on the amount of time it takes to sell your home. The thing is, you have to accept the fact that your home is worth less than it was just a year ago. Keep in mind with that fact, whatever you're going to be buying into next is also down. It all becomes relative, and when you look at the grand scheme of things compared to an average time over the last 10 years, your home's still going to sell faster. Despite the fact it didn't sell as much as you could have last year, you're still looking at the same difference between your next home and your current home. In some cases, it's actually a better situation as townhomes specifically have not come down quite as much as some of the detached homes. So that gap you're looking at between there could be a better time to make a move up. If you look at the news and watch the news on TV, quite often the reports are quite grim as far as prices coming down 50%. Well, one thing you have to keep in mind is this market update is specific to the Fraser Valley, whereas anytime you're watching the news, unless you're watching very local news, they're talking about the Vancouver Real Estate Board. Vancouver and Fraser Valley do act very similar to one another, but you have to keep in mind in the Vancouver Real Estate Board, there are several homes that are worth well over $3 million, whereas in the Fraser Valley home, yes, there are some worth over $3 million, but it's not nearly as much of a percentage that the Vancouver board has. So we're looking at overall a lower price point, and overall we're seeing prices decreasing at a much lower amount than the Vancouver board is. Now, it drives me nuts to see it on the news when they say our real estate market, but they only take stats from the Vancouver market. So keep that in mind next time you're watching the news. And if you have any questions or something doesn't seem right or something seems really high to you, give me a call, 604-218-5635. I'm always happy to bring you up to speed with what's happening in your neighborhood.